Paris, to me, is one of the most romantic and most beautiful cities in the world. My wife, Nancy, and I have one spot that is our spot on the bridge called Pont des Arts. My wife and I always walk to the center and turn and kiss. I had to have that in the movie. That's my gift to my wife right there.
At one point, we were going to have a race in Paris, and that was actually going to be a 24-hour Le Mans race. So we thought it would be really important to kind of figure out what would be the route of that race.
We knew the team had to go to Paris. They had to experience it firsthand. We took this motorcycle tour of Paris. You're just hanging on for your life, but you're really seeing it from what turns out to be the car's perspective.
But then the story changed and we decided not to have the race there.
We just had too many races in the film, and so they cut the Paris race out, but we had actually done a ton of design work.
We had the Eiffel Tower, we had the Arc de Triomphe, all these sort of beautiful landmarks designed, and we thought, but we just don't want to give up on that.
And they came up with the idea that instead of a race, that Mater, Finn McMissile, and Holly would go to Paris in search of their source that would be able to give them some more information behind this conspiracy they had discovered. Along the way there's a little postcard tour of Paris where we tried to show Mater in more beautifully classic French environments, where he's by the Arc de Triomphe and the Louvre. Beautiful views of the monuments of Paris.
It was interesting in designing these places because you had to make it feel exactly like the Arc de Triomphe, exactly like the Eiffel Tower, but it had to be in the Cars universe. You would come up with a really cool idea, and then you would try it, and it would no longer look like the Arc de Triomphe. It looked like an enormous spaceship. It was a sort of right balance of getting car parts or aspects of automobiles within the structure.
We tried to do it so that the carification, which is sort of what we've been calling it, is subtle, so it takes a second look. We wanted Notre Dame, the big cathedral, to be recognizable immediately as that cathedral, but then on second look, you see that the towers are huge grills and that the gargoyles are actually cars. We call them cargoyles.
We decided that wouldn't it be great to sort of have this older French car that would know a little bit about the black market of Europe and different maybe car parts, and he might be able to feed Finn a few secrets.
We first meet Tombe in the French marketplace. He's the informant. He's a three-wheeler. His roots are in the companies making these three-wheeled cars with what they got, after the war, which wasn't much.
Tombe is a really interesting challenge because he's a three-wheel car. And because they only have one wheel in the front instead of two, you get a lot more body rocking whenever they try to take a turn. It takes them a while to settle out. And they're also very prone to roll if they take a turn too tightly.
In Paris, the main setting is this huge marketplace. It's all rusted green metal and dingy glass skylights and rusty cars. It's based on the original architecture of Les Halles, which was a huge food market in the center of Paris that they tore down in the 70s. So when I was working on Ratatouille, we researched that completely, and we had done a lot of artwork on it. It was all French cooking, rat scale kind of stuff, and now we're in this Cars world. So we took a totally different view of it.
The original idea of Les Halles was that it was going to be a black market, a very mysterious place, because we have these kind of steel bars and a lot of air coming through, showing atmosphere. The design of Les Halles was based off of an old Renault bus, and you can see it by the entrance, the front, the grille, and the headlights.
It's a city of incredible history with all those monuments, but then there's also a side of it that is more intriguing, and we were trying to see both sides of the city in Cars 2.